Good morning. The Lord has gifted us with another beautiful day here at Dunedin Causeway. Low humidity, the sun is up, the birds are singing, light breeze blowing in off the intercoastal. My name is Dan Fry, and I'm the team leader for the Beach Outreach Ministry here at St. Mark. This morning, I would just briefly like to do a couple things. One is to provide you with an overview of the Beach Outreach Ministry, what we've accomplished, how we got our start, a little bit about the process, and I'll conclude with an open invitation for you folks to join us. We'd love to have you. Why should just so few of us have all the fun? So let's start with the overview. Back in the beginning of this year, maybe a little bit at the end of the previous year, the Church Council, along with Pastor Katie, under the guidance of the church consultant extraordinaire Barry Banther, began to kick around ideas for new ministries at St. Mark. And one of the ideas that was kicked around, so to speak, was beach outreach. And so began to have dialogue about what would that look like, what would we hope to accomplish, and what about the process? How would we go about actually doing it? A call went out to the congregation asking for volunteers. A few of us responded, and in March we began to have a couple Zoom meetings, a few of us volunteers, again talking about, okay, let's do this, sort of adopting the old Nike slogan, just do it. We knew we didn't have to have all the answers in the beginning, that this would evolve. We could always calibrate and recalibrate. We decided that we would do first and third Saturdays of each month. Should I say weather permitting? Should I say red tide permitting? And should I say pandemic permitting? Yes, we've had a few challenges along the way, but we have persevered under God's leadership. And on the first third Saturdays of the month, we meet at the church, typically around 8:45. We gather our water because what we're doing with the beach outreach is we are distributing free bottles of water combined with a word of Christian love to those needing some nourishment, hydration, walking, fishing, or just here just enjoying the scenery. And typically then we leave the church with a sending prayer or devotion. We get in our cars, we head over to the causeway, typically 9 o'clock-ish, and then we are beginning to walk both sides of the causeway. There's one side where they predominantly fish off of, and the other side is where you have the walkers and the runners and folks just kayaking and what have you. We began in March doing that, and so you might be asking, well, how have you been received? And I will tell you that we've been received overwhelmingly positive. The remarks that we've received are, God bless you, love the shirt. And by the way, I should mention that we're all wearing these God's Work, Our Hands shirts. And we are now regulars, so people almost are looking for these shirts. We're recognizable. And they will say, I am familiar with your church. You're that church on Curlew. God bless the work you're doing. Thank you for being here. So we have been received, we have been welcomed very positively. To date, over 100 bottles of water have been distributed. And folks, that's 100 people that we have interacted with. And again, some folks are just receiving the water. Some folks are actually engaging us in dialogue. Let me give you an example. And it's fresh because it just happened on our very last beach outreach. I would happen to be walking on the fishing side of the causeway. A gentleman, a volunteer, who I've seen him on past Saturdays. He picks up the trash. And I do think he is a volunteer. And so as I approached him, I asked if he would like a free bottle of water. And he has seen me before. And he said, I'd love to have a bottle of water. So I talked to him just a little bit about the day, the weather, what have you. Thanked him for doing the trash pickup. And then I went on my way and I turned around and came back. And he made a point to intercept me. He came out away from where his truck was, and he said, may I ask you some questions? He said, I see by your shirt that you're at St. Mark. Can you tell me a little bit about the church? So I talked to him about our church, how welcoming we are, talked to him about Pastor Katie, and he said, well, the reason I'm asking you these questions is because I'm troubled. We go to a Lutheran church here in Clearwater, and we're not happy. And my wife, as a matter of fact, has quit going to church. We would love to check out St. Mark. So I told him about what time service starts, and he said, I think you're going to see us there. So his first name's Mike. So if we happen to be in church on a particular Sunday and somebody introduces themselves as Mike, it's a good chance that he was the Mike from the Dunedin Causeway who participated, if you will, in our beach outreach ministry. And I will tell you that the beach outreach ministry resonates, is very congruent with the purpose of St. Mark, which is boldly sharing God's love and grace. We have as scriptural foundation of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6, which is, I planted, Apollos watered, and God provided the growth. And so the invite for you folks is help us to plant. Help us to deliver the outreach to those over here at the Dunedin Causeway. And so you might be asking, if I were to do that, do I have to commit to every first and third Saturday of the month? And the answer is no. You can do it intermittently. You can do it as you can. We're all busy people. You can bring a neighbor. You can bring a child. You can bring your dog. It doesn't matter. Again, adopting the slogan of Nike, we just do it. Put on your Fitbit, get some exercise, enjoy some sunshine. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun. And so the question becomes, will this result in new members at St. Mark? Perhaps. Will this increase the footprint of St. Mark to those living in and around this area? Most undoubtedly, yes. That is a good thing. I remember the words of the late Robin Williams, who said, everyone we meet is having a battle that you know nothing about. Be kind always. And I think that's sort of words to walk with, to march with, because the folks we meet here at the Causeway are not always their internal weather is not always sunshine. And maybe a word of Christian love, maybe that bottle of water, courtesy of St. Mark, makes a difference. We don't know, but we give it our shot. So help us plant. So how do you join? How do you sign up for Beach Outreach Ministry? Well, we try to make it simple. Sign Up Genius is usually mentioned in the e-news. And secondly, and by the way, Sign Up Genius is very user-friendly. You don't need to be tech savvy. If failing that, you can, oftentimes there's the physical sign-up sheets at the church for outreach. You could sign up for any of the first or third Saturdays. Again, you don't have to do them all. Or you can just simply contact me. My phone number is 269-986-2595, or by email, Dan and then the _ symbol Fry at sbcglobal.net. Reach out to me if you have questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. We'd love to have you and help us plant. May the good Lord continue to bless you and your family members this day and for many days to come. Thank you.